Lists and bills. Well, like I say, my people used to, well, no, they still are the greatest people in the world, in the universe. In the old days, people might have referred to things like, instead of saying top of the bill, they might have said top of the list, as I was L. So, and now I'm B, so maybe they use Bill. Um, I had a more deep depth or more in depth description of basically of how bills came about and all that other stuff and the billing and stuff like that. And I forget exactly what it is. One of my other videos might describe one of the previous reasons why things were called bills, whatever stuff like that. But I forget actually now. Like I said, Lucifer star, 100 trillion years old. That's who I really am. Ellis, just like Ellis Island. I used to go by Lucifer star, middle name Ellis. So that was one of my things a long time ago. Like I said, Thomas, my foreman in the LS shipyard, which is known as Belfast shipyard, basically got tortured and killed or something by some people. I don't know. I think it might have been some black people. I'm not exactly sure. Basically, he was tortured and killed. My my Irish workers came and found him, or something like that, and that person was, I believe, Thomas O'Brien's father, or something like that. There were many. Like I said, my people tended to basically go with names that were like my name a lot of times. Although I chose, I made up some names like Adolf Hitler. Like I said, there are 30,000 Adolf Hitlers or 3,000 Adolf Hitlers. There's an orphanage, and for a while there, everyone at an orphanage would have the same last name or the same first name, basically. In the old days, you used to start with one name, and then you would just add another name or something like that, or whatever. I know it gets all complicated and stuff like that. Like I said, I don't really. It was a long time ago, and for a while there, we actually had everyone listed by number, or you had a name and a number, as there's like 500 O'Briens or 500 Bryans and stuff like that. Anyway, that's why, like I said, despite what people may think, like I said, the American government, or what is America, basically the government anyway, knew of my existence and knew who I was. So quite a few times people did contact me, and like I said, quite a few times too, I paid mercenary groups. Like I paid at least two or three mercenary groups, and I even lent out one of my groups as a mercenary group. I believe the people with the fire buttons or whatever, they were French, or there used to be an I something or other. I don't know. Anyway, though, they were one of my military groups, and I think they became a mercenary group because I really didn't need them hanging around. I have so many armies. Like I said, America was really getting scared of my million man army in China. Like I said, Unit 731 was a unit directly underneath me, and a lot of units were directly underneath me, and where they were doing things directly for me, and so and there's lots of other Unit 2, Unit 4, Unit this, Unit that, um, around the world, and so I had a million man workforce in China. So I had quite a few workers, quite a few, what would you consider a million man army or whatever, million people working for me basically in China at one point in time. And this caused a lot of distress among a lot of the other leaders because, which is kind of stupid because I had like 300 people over here, 30,000 people over there, 50,000 people over here. Um, basically, I am the leader of the whole world pretty much, or is, something like that. Anyway, so yeah, so I had all these different military groups around the world. I basically invented military, what is military, and also invented what is civilian or for civilian. Anyway, like I say, a lot of things are considered national security or top secret. It's like, well, like I say, it's very simple. I'm a creator of life forms, creator of stars. The ancient old um, Lord of Light, or the one who created the light, stars basically, brought light onto the universe. Um, like I said, Rodney would deny me, Rick Bush would deny me, everyone would deny me because, well, a lot of people are kind of scared of me. because if they admitted who I am, or if you truly know who I am, then basically it's like, I want this person dead, I want that person dead, thank you, and stuff like that. Although mostly it's a lot of people like I say, the charges against John McCain are endless. There's a lot of charges against John McCain, as he has done a lot of bad things, and was a rapist, and probably a killer, and shot people in the back. He's a very bad person. Like I said, Jimmy Carter was also probably really bad, although not exactly sure about him. He was mostly bad to a bunch of farmers. Like I said, he used eminent domain on some farmers, and basically took over his neighbors, or a farmhouse basically, and probably did a lot of other stuff. And he basically just kicked the people on the street. It was really horrible what he did basically. And then like I said, he was not a peanut farmer. He had nothing to do with peanuts. He basically just took over. He just basically used military or whatever and just took over a farm. Anyway, and also I believe either jailed or locked up or just kicked the people out that owned the farm before. Anyway, another very bad person. Like I said, many of the people in the government you would find out are actually very bad people, and that's why they do the whole that, and that's another reason why there's like 600 and whatever thousand $1 trillion bounty on my head, pretty much, because of the fact that I know about these people. I know that Jimmy Carter was a very, very bad person and should just be killed. Also, like I say, John McCain, another really bad person, that should also just be killed. Many people in the government, basically. Like I said, George W. Bush, he did some things, of course, for basically Congress or whatever, or for John, or for them, basically. There were quite a few bad people. They did a lot of raping stuff. They were trying to say that the president couldn't be held accountable, blah, 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 but they can be held accountable, of course. So there's a lot of things where they, a lot of girls and stuff like that. Eventually they started paying people off rather than just killing them or locking them up in jail. But all the people that they call spies or whatever are basically just normal people that they're harassing, basically. Like I said, Congress is a very, very, very bad group. They should all be implanted with explosives, probably, and told to stop or die. Like I said, much of the Republicans and the Democrats, basically, it's just this big lie, and they've done some pretty horrible things. Trumpy, like I said, he's different, and I'm not exactly sure about his past. But anyway, whatever. So anyway. And basically, they've been trying to withhold or trying to take over or trying to get technology more than the rest of the world, but that's not really possible. Like I said, the Japanese is a great empire and was a great empire thousands of years ago. That's why they try to take them out so psychotically. But there are a lot of great empires. Like I said, the Gypsy Empire was pretty awesome in its own right. And then, of course, there's also the Ireland and Belfast. They had a very effective military group and were really effective. And then, of course, there's Europe and Britain and lots of my things. Even I believe India had a really effective army or military group as well. Many of the countries around the world, and then of course there's Israel, and they're ridiculously good. Like I said, I love Israel. I do. They're one of my great countries. And then, of course, there's also the Russian army. Yeah, many of these armies are actually, like I said, the French army was one of my armies, and a lot of the armies, like I say, that's another reason why there's such a high price on. I don't know if the price tag is actually on Lucifer Star's head or if it's actually on Brian's head, Brian Briley per se. But basically, like I said, Congress very much wanted me dead because of the fact that they're living in my White House, and they want my white Fort Knox, which is also full of gold, but it's just gold. I don't get it. So anyway, that's basically why the United States government, or this Congress, is actually wants to take me out, pretty much. Most of the other countries, like for instance, Mexico, they actually love me. Like I said, I gave up Mexico to them. Belfast did love me. Russia, like I said, I was with Russia between 1912 or 1917 and 1974. So they should rightly love me. And then, of course, there's also, France. Basically, I had a heavy involvement in France for quite a while. And then, of course, there's also Romania. The black people I had more of involvement of thousands or trillions of years ago, millions of years ago, a long, long, long time ago, when I had them working for me. Or though I had like 12 or 5 warrior tribes that were black or something like that. Like I said, Black Star, basically. They were my group. Um, so like I said, I had Black Star, I had White Star, basically black people that were working for me. The Black Star company was my company, basically. And also pretty much hailed as how as one of the ways that black people actually got their independence or got their whatever, because they were given ships and also other things. So there's Black Star Line, like I say, just like the White Star Line, just like Blue Star Line, and many of the star lines, because it likes white Lucifer Star is my name, so they were working for me basically a long time ago. Anyway, though, so and then we used to be a unified group basically. So anyway, and then lots of bad things. I was nuked. I was blah 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 blah, and all kinds of other things. And Abraham Lincoln was trying to say that he was blah blah blah. Fuck him. Um, so and then of course there's Jimmy Carter trying to do the religious movement, and of course also Nixon and everything that they said, which is I don't think you even remember. So basically, like I said, JFK was trying to control the Vatican and trying to get Jimmy Carter to control the Vatican. Like I say, it's all ridiculous. You should go talk to these people. Like I say, um, and find out and to just ask them. Like give them a lie detector test. Like the Pope, I wouldn't hurt an old man, but basically, you should give him a lie detector test and find out what he knows about history and time and the past. Basically, in fact, you should probably do a lie detector test on all the different popes, because you'll probably find out a lot more about JFK, Nixon, the United States Congress, and stuff like that. And then these are things that the people do need to know, about the past. For the most part, everything's gone swimmingly, as they say. Mostly, except you didn't really know of my existence, or you didn't really know about me as the great Lucifer Star. And this is something that they've tried to keep from you. Like I said, Admiral Rodney and Rick Bash and everything else. And of course, there's also Bill Gates or Zachary. Like I said, if you just ask me, I could just tell you plainly. Like I said, these a lot of my people also purposely made these people famous, so they could be like these people. We a long time ago we used to use fame as basically a way of getting people noticed. Anyway, my people had many tricks and many things to basically bring people's attention to these people and their actions. Like I said, Zachary, some teletype room, hostage situation, 17 to 48 hours in either Ireland or Scotland, someplace. Basically having sex with pretty much all the kids in the school, and I believe the teacher and her boyfriend were both killed. So, and he was a police officer or something like that. Anyway, it basically led to pretty much basically they were trying to take out the Irish or Scottish police department in that town, basically. And pretty much he was editing his father's bank account records to make it look like his father was rich, I believe. So, anyway. There's lots of things that are very important too, basically, and that's possibly why Bill Gates or Zachary was getting handed a medal by what's the name Obama, was because of his LS shells, or nuclear reaction shells, basically. Lucifer Star light shell, basically. Very bad. Like I said, don't use them. They're really, really bad to those people around them and those people you fire on, and especially those people that are nearby them.